In January 1925, a deadly disease began spreading through the isolated town of Nome, Alaska. The harbor was frozen. No roads reached the town. The nearest usable medicine was hundreds of miles away. And without it, doctors feared the outbreak could kill hundreds, perhaps thousands. The only way to get the medicine through was by dog sled. This became known as the Great Race of Mercy. Nome's only doctor, Curtis Welch, first believed the sick children had tonsillitis, but as more cases appeared, he realized the truth. It was diphtheria, a contagious disease that could form a thick membrane in the throat and slowly suffocate its victims. Nome had some antitoxin, but it had expired. Welch sent an urgent message asking for a fresh supply before the disease spread any farther. Enough medicine to begin fighting the outbreak was found in Anchorage. It could travel part of the way north by train, but the railway ended at Nenana, 674 miles from Nome. Airplanes were considered, but the open cockpit aircraft available in Alaska were considered too dangerous in the extreme winter weather. That left one option. A relay of sled dogs and mushers would carry the serum the rest of the way. On January 27th, the precious package arrived in Nenana. The glass vials were wrapped in layers of padding and fur to protect them from the cold and the violent journey ahead. Then the first team disappeared into the darkness. 20 mushers and more than 150 dogs took part in the relay. They traveled day and night through deep snow, gale-force winds, and temperatures that fell far below zero. At times, the whiteout was so severe that the mushers could barely see the dogs directly in front of them. Each team carried the serum along one section of the trail before handing it to the next. But one musher and his dogs would cover more ground than any of the others. Leonhard Seppala had left Nome before the serum even reached Nenana, racing east to meet it along the trail. His lead dog was Togo, a 12-year-old Siberian husky, already considered old for such a punishing journey. Together, Seppala and Togo's team traveled more than 250 miles during the mission. Their route included a dangerous crossing of frozen Norton Sound, where shifting ice and violent winds could have carried the entire team out to sea. Togo led them across the ice, through the storm, and safely back toward Nome. But even after their extraordinary journey, the serum still had farther to go. The package passed from team to team until it reached musher Gunnar Kaasen and his lead dog, Balto. Kaasen was not originally expected to make the final run into Nome, but when he reached the next relay point in the middle of a blizzard, the replacement team was asleep. Rather than lose precious time, Kaasen kept going. Balto led the team through darkness and near total whiteout conditions. At approximately 5:30 on the morning of February 2nd, they entered Nome. The serum had traveled 674 miles in just 5.5 days. Not one glass vial had broken, but the medicine had frozen solid during the journey. Dr. Welch carefully thawed it over the next several hours, unsure whether the extreme cold had destroyed its effectiveness. But the medicine worked, and it had arrived before the outbreak could become the catastrophe Welch feared. Balto became the most famous dog in America because he led the final team into Nome. Togo later received greater recognition for enduring the longest and most dangerous portion of the mission. But the Great Race of Mercy was never the work of one dog or one man. It was a chain of 20 mushers and more than 150 dogs, each carrying the medicine a little farther through some of the worst conditions imaginable. Together, they accomplished what no single team could have done alone. They outran a deadly disease and helped save an entire town.